This video will describe the phrase structure rules. And when we open this node, we see that there are predefined syntactic categories. We have the 4 different types of phrases and also clauses. And when you create your language project, TBTA creates some starter phrase structure rules for you. For example, this was created by TBTA just to get you started. It assumes subject, verb, object, but you're free to move these around however you'd like. Let's say you're working in an SOV language. So now it's subject, object, verb. If we save that, God the heavens and the earth created in the beginning. So now it's an SOV language. Let's put this back. Now it's SVO. And let's modify this rule. If we look at this word in the beginning, normally in English we put that at the beginning of the sentence. And the reason is because in the beginning, that's a significant time. And if you look at the participant status for the word beginning, it says significant time. So let's add a noun phrase. Okay, this word beginning, it's a noun, and it's in a noun phrase. So let's add a noun phrase to this phrase structure rule for clauses, and we'll put it at the beginning. Let's put it inside this group here, pre-clausal modifiers. So it'll precede the main clause. So we click on this group name and say insert new constituent into rule. And this will be a noun phrase. So we select a noun phrase. Now when we select a noun phrase, these are the features for noun phrases. But the significant time, that's on a noun. So here we can say head word. And now we see the features for nouns. And we can say significant time. It's also good to enter an example, Genesis 1:1. And we should also enter a name. We can click here and select the name, significant time. So now this new noun phrase has been inserted into the group. And now if we say OK, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. So this was created for you. It has all these groups and then constituents within the groups, and you can click on a group name and then say insert new constituent into rule. You can also insert new groups into the rule. Let's turn this phrase structure rule for noun phrases off, and we'll create our own. Okay, we'll turn this off, and if we generate now, in beginning God created heavens and earth . Okay, so let's insert a new rule. We'll double click here. The rule's name, let's call this general purpose NP. And right now all we have is the node for noun phrase. Let's first insert a group. We'll say insert new group into rule. And let's call this, usually we call it conjoiners. This includes conjunctions, prepositions, etc. So there's a group name. Now in here, we can say insert new constituent into rule. We'll put in a conjunction. It asks if we want to enter a name. We'll say no. We can also enter a preposition. Add position. Okay, let's enter another group name. Insert new group. We'll call these pre-head modifiers. And let's drag this down below this group. So here's our new group. And in this group we'll say, okay, for this verse we don't have very complicated noun phrases, but we'll say we just want the article. So in the pre-head modifiers, insert new constituent. We can say here, article. And let's add one more group. We'll call it the head. And we'll drag that down. And in the head, we'll put the noun. So that's sufficient for this verse. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Your noun phrases will get much more complicated. Your verb phrases will be more complicated. Your clause phrase structure rule will be more complicated. But that's the idea. And I want to mention one more thing while we're here. This will apply to all noun phrases. But if you want a special rule for a particular noun phrase, you can click on Show Structure. And now we see a structure up here like you've seen in many of the other types of rules. And now, for example, we can say, if we click on this and say it has to be relativized, now this noun phrase structure rule won't apply. None of these noun phrases, it won't apply in this verse. If we click OK now, and things are back just as if we didn't have this rule. You can say, so you can specify features here. Let's take that off. You can say this only applies to subject noun phrases. You can put in a subordinate clause, so now this noun phrase structure rule only applies if there's a relative clause embedded inside the noun phrase. You can delete that. You can build these structures just like we've done in many of the other rule types. So that will help you if you need very specialized phrase structure rules, then that's how you'll do that.